One person? Who's that? Sorry, I'm trying to accomplish something here. It's not working. All right. Let me see who we got. Anybody in the chat yet? No. Be right there if anybody's watching yet. Just trying to fix something in the back here. All right. That's Frank. Oh, for real? That's what's up, man. I hope you had a good time. Freeze your balls off out there? I bet. 4 people. Whoever you are, please hit the like button. It's very important. Very important. 6 people now. Jump in the chat anytime. What happened? The Eagles lost? I don't pay attention to that shit. I'm assuming they did, though, if you're pissed. Home team. It's your squad, right? 7 people. Hit the like button, please, guys, and jump in the chat whenever you'd like. Tell me if you support Donald Trump, or if you don't, you can tell me why you don't. It's up to you. I'll tell you why I don't support him. Because he's a scumbag. That's pretty much it. Let me see here. I have a feeling. Oh, no. Okay, right mic is on. Good. Oh, only S. Frank in the chat, huh? S. Frank, you got to change your name. You got to fix that. S. Fanks, that fucks me up. 11 people, please hit the like button, guys. It's important. It'll help get a big crowd in here. And jump in the chat whenever you'd like. Tell me if you support Donald Trump. If you don't support him, and why. Let's start a conversation here. Oh, is that right? Damn. Oh, shit. Surprised that it was ladies. And again, if they were fighting, were they really ladies? You know what I mean? I don't know how many ladies hang out at football games. Women, there could be plenty, but ladies, not sure. 19 people, everybody please hit the like button. It's very important. Cootie Queen 85. You know, a question I never see anybody ask is, why do you support the Democrat Party? The Democratic Party? Because there's 2 options, Democrats and Republicans. So I support the party that I believe to be the better of the 2. That'd be the Democrat Party. Best president of my lifetime, bar none. Why do you say so, Don Ross? Don Rossiter. Why? Because he deports people and he hates trans people? That's pretty much it, right? Buster Hyman, nice name. What the fuck? You think Trump is going to entice riots to declare martial law? Yeah. Incite riots? Yeah, definitely. That's what he does. Yeah. That's the whole point of him sending National Guard into LA and Portland and all that shit. That's what he does. And he wants to do anything he can to make sure those midterms don't happen, or at least, don't happen on time. So that's what he's using all this shit for. How many times has the guy said, I should declare war so we don't have elections? You know what I mean? He does nothing but lie, cheat, and steal. That's right. That's what the Democrats do, man. You're brainwashed. You need to get help. What do they do? Dave, don't just say stuff like that. Tell me what they do. Oh, shit. Nice. Dave, if you're watching, thank you, brother. Yeah, because all those riots after the Charlie Kirk murder, right? The right doesn't riot unless it's on the steps of the Capitol where it belongs. No, that's actually probably the most disrespectful and treasonous way to riot. It's a hell of a lot different than just rioting in some street, you know? It's the Capitol. It's disgusting. And you listen, you guys, if the right thing happens, or maybe I should say the wrong thing, you guys will show that side of yourselves again. You know, you're the real animals. You're the real violent ones. The overwhelming majority of violence takes place on the right. So it's the way it is. I found the moron side of YouTube again. Mike Hilbert, tell me what you like about Donald Trump, please. It's all a distract. Yeah, and Congress will do whatever Trump says. You haven't figured that out yet? They're there to serve him. It's all a distraction from something else. Well, everything he's doing right now is a distraction from the Epstein files. Democrats are lost. Yeah, right. I support my president, Donald J. Trump. He's got a cross and a bunch of flags. He hates America, and he's never been in church in his life. He's so tough, except for photo ops. He's so tough. Why didn't he go fight for the country he loves so much? No. Rich, didn't you hear what Jesse Ventura said yesterday, the day before? Rich white boys don't fight in wars. Trump's a liar and a convicted felon. He is. No, I don't remember hearing Never say that, and I've listened to him talk a lot. Well, he said it. He said it several times since he took office the second term. They're doing everything they can to cheat in the midterms. I mean, he all said he wouldn't leave office last time. It's tired lies and propaganda. Beach Bum, we were 100% right. Let me explain something to you, Beach Bum, because you're so stupid. The fact that you just said that shows how stupid you are. Now, when he left, he had no choice. At that point in time, if he didn't leave, the Secret Service would have picked him up and removed him from the property, and that would have been it. Okay? He didn't leave. There was no peaceful transfer of power. He didn't meet with Biden in the Oval Office. He didn't leave him a letter in the drawer of the Resolute desk. None of that happened. He refused to even acknowledge that he lost the election. So Beach Bum, thank you for pointing out that we were 100% right. Because when he lost that election, he right away went into denial, started denying that he lost the election, started trying to convince you dolts that he lost the fucking election. Then he tried to steal it a million different ways. 63 federal lawsuits, all thrown out because there was nothing out of the ordinary in that election whatsoever. No kind of fraud or anything. Then he hired fake slates of electors. Okay, so he could try to steal the election that way on January 6th. And he threatened his vice president not to certify the vote, which, thank God, Mike Pence didn't listen to him. Okay. So then after that, he called, Raffensperger in Georgia, Secretary of State, and told him, I need you to find me 11,000 more votes. He tried to steal the election 1,000 different ways. He didn't just leave. When you say he left, what you mean is when he had no other choice. And if he didn't leave, he would have been removed. Yeah, then he left. He never to this day does not acknowledge that he lost the election. So good job, Beach Bum. You're killing it. Oh, it's all good, man. Hey, I appreciate it no matter what. It's not treasonous. The American people don't owe an allegiance to the Democrat Party or illegals they implemented to vote for them. Well, I don't even know what you mean is what's not treasonous. Donald Trump is treasonous. I mean, I don't know what exactly you're referring to. I don't know what that has to do with Democrat Party or illegals, but let me explain to you, Cootie Queen, because you're obviously showing me with every comment how unintelligent you are. Illegals can't vote, period. They can't vote. So that theory that Democrats put illegals here so they can vote, yeah, it's not true. It's against federal law. They can't vote. Well, how is freedom under the Democratic Party? How is that, restricted in any way? Matt Tilley. I think the American people could commit insurrection against the government they own. They own. Shut the fuck up. Yes. Yes. Do you know what the definition of treason is? Well, absolutely. The motherfucker tried to overturn a free and fair election. He tried to overthrow the government, basically. It's fucking treason. What are you talking about? How is it not? Yeah, it sounds good to me, but it won't happen, David Blackburn. Not unless the state does it. They don't vote, Chris. I'll tell you what, go get me the source where there's widespread voting amongst the illegal aliens, because you'll never find it. Let me tell you something, Chris. Let me explain to you. Now, I know that Donald Trump and the Republicans and Fox News and Newsmax and LAN and all that, they exist just to fool you dopes into believing things like this. They scare the shit out of you so you'll go out and vote for them. They tell you that all the illegals are going to vote. We need your vote. You got to come out because there's going to be so many illegals voting. And then when Donald Trump loses an election, he can blame it on illegals voting. So they really have you believing this. Except, Chris, let me explain something to you. In order to vote in a federal election, you have to be a registered voter. Let me explain. In my case, right, my polling place is a church about two and a half blocks from my house. Okay? So on voting day, I go there. On election day, I go there. I give them my name. They go through a huge book and then they find my name. You know why my name is in there? Because I'm a registered voter. That's all. Then and only then do they give me a ballot and allow me to vote. And in order to register to vote, you have to have a social security number and things like that that illegals don't have. So illegals don't vote. Jess, $2. I refuse to believe MAGA is human. They're not, Jess. And thank you very much for the $2. They are not. Oh, yeah, I'm just losing my shit over here, David. You're right. Sure. Oh, I'm telling you things you don't want to hear. Oh, no, he didn't. That was debunked. No, he didn't. Guys, listen to me. You see how since I started this show, I've talked about 10 different things? There's no way I can keep up with the comments, okay? So when I read through the comments and I see something as vague as this, I have no idea what you're talking about. You have to tell me, no, he didn't what? What didn't he do? You shut the fuck up, jerk off. Jason Mikesell, what's going on, brother? I'm questioning the election isn't a crime. I'm questioning the election isn't a crime. Yeah. Okay, dope. Questioning the election isn't a crime. Trying to overturn the election is. ICE has no authority to detain U.S. citizens. You know, I'm not 100% sure on that. I actually think they do. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. 300,000 votes without proper signatures in Georgia, and he lost by 11K. That doesn't mean, Dave, that any of those were not legit. You realize that, right? It doesn't mean that, because if so, we'd already know, like, oh shit, Trump won Georgia. Have they came out? Have the Georgia officials come out and said, oh my God, Trump won Georgia, we were wrong? No, of course not. So there you go. And it don't matter. If he would have won Georgia, he still would have lost the election. I already explained America since 1776. The fucking guy denied it. He filed 63 lawsuits that were all thrown out. He demanded recounts in all kinds of fucking states. Then he threatened Mike Pence to not certify the election. In other words, not certify that Joe Biden is the new president. Okay. And he hired fake slates of electors that he was going to use to overturn the election. Okay. And make himself the winner, even though he didn't win. So if you don't understand that and you think it could only be done by riding down Pennsylvania Avenue on a horse brandishing a sword, you're a fucking moron and you watch too many movies. They are, bro. They are. 20,000 fraudulent votes in Fulton County we found just last week. I don't know that you found 20,000 fraudulent votes. Again, Cootie Queen, they would have to come out and say, that was it. Donald Trump won Georgia. Cootie Queen, is there any chance that those fraudulent votes were for, I don't know, Donald Trump? Have you guys thought about that at all? So if there's fraudulent votes, they must have been for Biden, right? Okay. Do you know that Trump hired a firm to find fraud in the 2020 election? And when they came back to him and told him they couldn't find any, he fired them. You can look that up yourself. Guys, do me a favor. It's very important. Hit the like button now, especially if you don't like me, you ain't going to do it. I don't give a fuck. The rest of you, the good guys, please hit the like button. Just take a second to do it. I'd appreciate it. It's a free way of helping. And hit the subscribe button also. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I do these shows all the time. Although I do a different type of content on this channel you might see from now, from time to time. You don't have to watch that. Just watch the politics shows, whatever. But please hit like and subscribe. It's the same can be said about NBC, CNN, ABC, BBC. They're only there to placate the Democrats. Listen, man, CNN is basically Fox News Light right now. All of them, whether you believe it or not, go way easy on Donald Trump. I'll give you an example. During the debate, when Biden's brains were leaking out of his ears, Donald Trump lied 36 times, 36 verifiable lies in 90 minutes. NBC, ABC, BBC, they didn't talk about any of that. They talked about Biden, Biden, Biden. You have no idea, America, since 1776. If they were really after him, the media, like Trump says, it could be a 24-hour news cycle on every single network, and they wouldn't run out of true shit to talk about. So now Fox News is a different story. Fox News has a 17% accuracy rating, meaning they're correct 17% of the time. And that's not an accident. That's by design. They lie to you to fool you into voting for Republicans. Fox News is a big part of the reason that you guys always vote against your own best interest. The poorest people in this country vote for the party that wants to give all the money to the richest people in this country. You know, you guys have been confused for about 50 fucking years now. You still don't even know which side to vote for. Okay. And they are there. They're literally a propaganda wing of the Republican Party. They are there to get Republicans elected, period. That's it. Diaper Don is a traitor. He is. You're lying out of your ass. Okay. Tell me about what specific thing. Okay. You're a complete moron. Okay. Tell me what I'm wrong about. Oh my goodness, broken. Go take your meds. Oh my goodness, broken. Go take your meds. Okay. Any of you guys, instead of just hurling insults and saying stupid shit, want to tell me what I'm wrong about? Go right ahead. Jason, I should bring you on here. They'll lose their fucking minds. If I brought Jason Mikesell on here, you would all have a massive stroke. He never lied once. I don't even know if you're being serious, but I have a feeling you are. In Donald Trump's first term, and you could look this up right now, look it up anywhere you want, Grok, ChatGPT, Google, anything. Donald Trump told 30,600 and something verifiable lies and misleading claims during his first term. Now, I also want to remind you that during that term, he spent 284 days playing golf. So he didn't have much time. He didn't even have a full 4 years to tell that many lies. Over 30,000 verifiable lies and misleading claims. You can look it up right now. We've never, ever had a politician that lies like he. Guys, are you crazy? The fucking dickhead. You believe him when he stands in front of you and says, I am going to lower prescription drug costs by 1,500%, a mathematically impossible task. You believe him when he says that. He's not lying. Okay. How about if I showed you a video of Trump saying that 300 million people died from drugs last year? What would you say? Seriously, I'm asking a question. If I showed you a video of Trump saying 300 million people died of drugs last year, what would you say? Mike Raby. And he still sucks at golf. He cheats at that constantly. There's videos of it. Democrats are terrorists. Yeah, okay. Except for the fact that, again, the overwhelming amount of political violence is committed by the right. You do not need a social security number to vote. Register with a signature at DMV. You have to be an American citizen, bro. They have to, even if you do it at the DMV, do you understand? They know. These are the agencies that know whether or not you're an illegal alien. You can't register to vote as an illegal alien. And if you do, if somehow you're able to, and you vote, you're in serious trouble. Now, let me tell you why illegal immigrants break the law at like four times less the rate of fucking natural born citizens because they don't want to get deported. Do you understand? So you'd have to think that some Mexican illegal is so gung-ho about voting that he's going to go to a government agency, lie, and take the chance of being deported on the spot just so he could vote. If you believe that, you should have a fucking lobotomy. And he still got more done than Biden. Oh, Steel Wolf, let's talk about it. What did he get done? I'll tell you what, you tell me what Trump got done. I'll tell you what Biden got done. Let's do it. 178 people. Please hit the like button, guys. I'm going to keep harping on it. Hit the like and subscribe. And if you can, especially if you're enjoying the show and you want to help contribute to it, there's a super chat button at the bottom. You could send a super chat, get your comment read and all that. It would help a lot. When did that happen to Biden? That's right, never. You see what I mean about how I have no fucking idea what you're talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. No, this is all in your imagination, bro. All that shit's been debunked. Some states, yes, not supposed to vote in federal. Many have facts and data on that. Oh, no, Bob, I'll tell you what, Bob, buddy, don't tell me to go on a wild goose chase. Go get me the fucking credible source right now. I'll pull it up on the screen and I will apologize to you for being wrong. But the states don't decide, you fucking asshole. If, oh, wait a minute. You might be saying some states they voted, not supposed to vote in federal. They're not allowed to vote in federal elections. I don't know if you're saying that some states allow them to, that it wouldn't be up to the states. But you're not allowed, they can't vote in federal elections. It is against the law. They will go to jail and get deported. And that none of you can find me a single time in American history, in any election in American history, where there was a large number of illegal aliens voting. Go ahead, get me the source. I'll wait. Oh, I do, yeah, and Fox News lies through their teeth about it, yeah. I know, bro. Let me see. Fuck your like button. Hey, just for that, leftists, please hit the like button. That bacteria is a criminal the second they illegally come into our country. That bacteria? You know what's funny about you guys? Let me tell you something about that. I don't know what that bacteria means. You meant to say something else, I guess. But you guys always talk about that because we'll bring up the fact that they don't create crimes nearly as much as natural born citizens. And we'll bring up that a lot of the people getting deported aren't criminals. And you'll say the second they entered this country, they committed a crime. Now, let me tell you what's hilarious about that. That crime is a misdemeanor. It's nothing. Okay, it's nothing. It's just like if you got a DUI, it'd be just about as serious, if not more serious, than illegally entering the country. Okay? No big deal. Misdemeanors, nothing, right? Donald Trump is convicted of 34 felonies. Now, you'll say they're not real felonies, but bottom line is you can't get convicted of fake felonies. So he got convicted of real felonies, 34 of them. He's a convicted felon as we speak. So don't tell me about crime. Not just that, but Donald Trump has already pardoned about 1,600 people, most of which, about 1,500 and something, were January 6 rioters that assaulted 140 fucking police officers, many of which died. One of those scumbags tased the cop in his fucking neck. The cop had a heart attack later. Okay? This is the kind of shit that you are okay with. You are fine with. You have no problem. Donald Trump breaks the law every single day in office. You're like, you know? You don't care if Matt Gaetz was a pedophile. You don't care about the Epstein files. You don't care about these wealthy elite motherfuckers in the Epstein files that raped 1,000 fucking underage girls. But man, if you cross the country illegally, you're too bad to be here. You're all full of shit. Most of you are probably criminals, and you've committed way more serious crimes than crossing a border illegally. No, I know. No, Kimberly, no. Yeah, believe me, I know it's like talking to a brick wall, but hey, it's what I do for a living. Uh, Let me see. Oh, wait. Jason Mike sell $10. Love this channel and how you've taken the politics genre and carved out a presence. You are doing God's work as far as I am concerned when it comes to calling out Trump. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Jason. I couldn't wait till you came home just so you saw. Thank you. 205 viewers and only 40 likes. Yeah, how do you do on your live streams? What's your ratio usually? Because the majority of the chat is Trump supporters, so I'm not going to get likes from them. Guys, do me a favor, though. Hit the like button. I don't care about Trump supporters. The rest of you, hit the like button and subscribe. It's very important. Very, very. Illegals need to go away. They bother you. Oh, do they take your job? Do they fuck your women? What do they do? It bothers you. No, they didn't. They didn't, Patrick. Let me tell you something, Patrick Barrett. The most wealthy, powerful people in the country did everything in their power to try to find some fraud in the election, some outcome determinative fraud that would change the results of the election. And they couldn't do it. Trump hired a firm, couldn't do it. Mike Lindell couldn't do it. Trump couldn't do it. Nobody could pull it off, but yet you guys, some dickhead in my chat is like, oh, I got the answer. I know Trump couldn't prove that this happened, but I'm Patrick and I can. Okay. Guys, listen, you need to understand. Let me explain something about yourselves to you. You guys, the overwhelming majority of Republican voters are poor, working class at best. Okay? The overwhelming majority. Red states have the dumbest people and the poorest people. That's no bullshit. Red states are, the worst in education, healthcare, and poverty. Okay? It's the poorest, dumbest people in the country. And the Republican Party is fully aware of that. And they create these culture war issues. They get you upset about trans people in women's sports and illegals crossing the border. They get you all worked up so you don't fucking even see that they're robbing you blind. It doesn't even occur to you because you're so busy worried about bullshit. You've been voting against your own best interests for decades. Voting for Republicans makes no sense for working people. But their job is to keep you fooled, and they do a great job at it, especially Trump, because Trump has a 100% cult, no question, and all of you are members of it. I think you should focus more on who controls these politicians and powerful people to get in these positions. They're compromised, blackmailed. Why do you think both sides don't want the files released? Matt Tilley, you're wrong. Again, this is the kind of shit I mean. Matt, what world are you living in? Let me give you a timeline, okay? In February of last year, Pam Bondi came out and said the files are on my desk. Remember, we all saw it. The Epstein list is on my desk. I got to review it, right? Okay. In May, it was widely reported by everyone, including the Wall Street Journal, which is owned by Rupert Murdoch, that Pam Bondi sat Donald Trump down and said, hey, your name is in the Epstein files numerous times. They then, and this is a fact, you could check it out, they assigned 1,000 FBI agents. This pissed Dan Bongino off because they were taken off of actual cases. 1,000 FBI agents were assigned to redact this scumbag's name from the Epstein files. And then what happens next in June? They come out and tell you, what Epstein list? There's no Epstein list. There's no Epstein files. Now, right after that happened, Democrats went into full gear trying to force a vote on releasing the Epstein files. Democrats, you understand? Republicans were scared. Donald Trump was terrified. Mike Johnson shut down Congress for a while because of this, so they couldn't force a vote. But Thomas Massie, a Republican, and Ro Khanna, a Democrat, came up with a discharge petition that needed 218 signatures. And if they got those signatures, it would force a vote on the House floor to release the Epstein files. Now, they had 213 Democrats and 4 Republicans. 213 Democrats went out of their way to try to get the Epstein files released. Only 4 Democrats did, or Republicans. Now, let me tell you about those Republicans. One of them was Marjorie Taylor Greene. she made it clear that she was going to sign the petition, Donald Trump called it an act of hostility against him. Signing the petition that would release the Epstein files, he called it an act of hostility against him. Lauren Boebert, they called her into a secret meeting, and they begged her. You can even watch interviews, she talks about it, to take her name off the petition because they were terrified, because the last thing the Republicans want is the Epstein files released, okay? So Mike Johnson shut the House down again. I think of all of 2025, Congress was in session 87 days. Okay, so Mike Johnson shut down the House again, and he told House Republicans, do not come back to D.C., do not negotiate with Democrats no matter what. That's why the government wound up getting shut down. Okay? Adelita Grijalva, right before the government got shut down, Adelita Grijalva was a Democrat from Arizona. She won a House seat. Okay? She was going to be the 214th Democrat signature, which would make it 218 signatures with the 4 Republicans. Okay? So Mike Johnson kept Congress shut down for 50 days because he didn't want to swear her in. And everybody, every newscaster asked, why are you not swearing her in? Oh, we're in a pro forma session. You swore in 2 Republican House members during a pro forma session. Oh, well, it's because she didn't ask to be sworn in. She did ask to be sworn in. Oh, well, it's because he didn't want to swear in because she'd be on that petition, and that would force release of the Epstein files. Finally, he had to swear her in. The government opened back up. He had to swear her in. And that's when they had a vote on the House floor. Then, on the Senate floor, the Republicans, Mike Johnson in the House, he tried to make it a secret vote overnight so that the Republicans could vote anonymously not to release the Epstein files. The Democrats said, no. You're going to be on record. Your vote is going to be on record. Okay? So the Republicans had no choice but to vote for it. None of them are going to be the one person that says, I'm not going to release the Epstein files. So the House voted for it. Trump thought it would die in the Senate, but then the Senate voted for it, and Trump had no choice but to sign it. Now, Donald Trump is the president, okay? And the Department of Justice has the files. The Department of Justice can release them anytime Trump tells them to. Do you understand? They can release them right now. They could have released them yesterday. They could have released them 6 months ago, 8 months ago. All of the files could have been released. Donald Trump can release them whenever the fuck he wants, and he refuses to. Do you realize the law that was put in place on November 19th called the Epstein Files Transparency Act? That wasn't necessary. That discharge petition, all that horse shit to get the signatures and force a vote, that wasn't necessary. Trump is the guy. Trump says release the files, they get released. It's his refusal to release the files that caused us to actually have to pass a law, which, by the way, they broke already, because the deadline was December 19th to release all of the Epstein files unredacted, and any redactions made, there was a court date or deadline on January 2nd. They had to be there by January 2nd to explain any redactions they made. Okay? So December 19th, when the deadline rolls around to release the files, they release 1% of the files. There are 2 million pages of Epstein files we haven't seen yet. Nobody denies that. The Department of Justice, nobody. 2 million Epstein files that we just can't get released. Okay? And it's because of Donald Trump being in there. That's the bottom line. He is the Epstein files. He is. So, any of you guys who think, oh, they can't, a judge, stopped it or this or that. Donald Trump can release the files right this minute. He just won't. Now, you tell me why. Why? If he's not guilty of something. LOL, who the Democrats reductions? Fuck. The Democrats could have released the Epstein files. President Trump made the Democrats demand the release of the Epstein files. Oh my God. Michael. So by your thinking, and first of all, under Biden, there was a lot of reasons the Epstein files weren't released. But again, Biden didn't run on it. And this was not a Democrat issue where Democrats were screaming to have the Epstein fucking files released. Okay, it was the right. It was you guys. Dan Bongino and Kash Patel were the two biggest podcasters pushing the Epstein file release. So was J.D. Vance and Donald Trump and everybody. He ran on releasing the files. Joe Biden didn't. It wasn't an issue like that. Plus, Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted under Biden. She immediately appealed her case. Her case has been on appeal since then. Her last appeal was shot down by the Supreme Court in 2025. So they couldn't release the files. That judge that Trump went to months ago, he went to an Obama judge. He asked for a release that wasn't going to be possible. And the judge shot him down because you can't release files that can affect the outcome of a fucking appeal on a criminal case. Okay? So forget about what Biden did or didn't do, because Biden is not the president anymore. Donald Trump is the president, and he has been for a year now. And he refuses to release the Epstein files. Tell me why. Lee's, $10. Love your show. Thank you, man. Thank you for always being here to support me. I appreciate you. And why didn't Biden do it? Well, I just told you. I'll tell you what, Jared, if you don't believe my reason, why didn't Trump do it in his first term? Because Trump had the files before Joe Biden. So you cannot reasonably ask, why did Biden not release the files without first asking, why didn't Trump release the files in his first term? So go ahead, tell me. Yes, that's right. Yeah, right. Nobody with street smarts votes red unless they're rich, then it's in their best interest. Epstein was charged in 2006 and got the ridiculous plea deal. Obama 2009 to 2016, Trump 16 and 2020, Biden 20 to 24, Trump again, and still nothing has been released. No, basically, Joe Biden did release some stuff, and then Donald Trump re-released it and acted like he did something. But yeah, and the guy that gave Epstein the sweetheart deal, I can't remember his fucking name. I believe Pam Bondi was the attorney general then, but the guy who gave the sweetheart deal, can't remember his name, but Trump made him the Secretary of Labor in 2017, the guy that gave Epstein the sweetheart deal. So sure he did. Yeah. Let me ask you something. When you guys say stuff like that, have you never seen a bald person before? Like, listen, Patrick, if I saw a picture of you, I could roast you into therapy. I'd have you seeing a psychiatrist for the next 10 years. You see me and you come up with, oh, look, he's bald. You know how many people are bald, you stupid asshole? Do you have any idea? What are you talking about? Oh, look, he's bald. Oh, and he has eyes and a nose and a mouth. Fucking asshole, idiot. What is the point? So you have names, but it does not prove they did anything with any underage girls. So how do we know, Shannon? What do you mean? How do we know what they did until we see the files? Donald Trump, aside from all his sexual deviancy, is his sick fucking, the shit, cheating on all his wives and talking about wanting to fuck his own daughter and everything else. The guy was accused of raping one of the Epstein one of the Epstein victims when she was 13 years old. We have dozens of reasons to believe Trump is a pedophile, and I believe it 100%. No, he didn't, Chad. But again, it wasn't his issue, and all you're doing is wasting time. I'm not even going to entertain it. Why didn't it doesn't matter. Trump is the president now. How can you expect to be taken seriously when you say, well, Trump has been president for a year and hasn't released the files, but why didn't Biden release them for the 4 years before? Dummy. Guarantee you, when you find out the reason Trump didn't release the files yet is because it's going to destroy Bill Clinton. Donald Trump hates Bill Clinton with a fucking passion. Hates him with a fucking passion. He would have released that shit immediately. Fuck that. Even if Clinton didn't do anything, if Trump was innocent, you think Trump is the kind of guy that's going to be falsely accused and say, I have the files, I can prove that I'm innocent, but I'm not gonna. I'm just going to let them keep calling me a pedophile. I'm not gonna release him. I'm gonna hold back. Then you don't know Donald Trump. And Bill Clinton, let me tell you something, Adam, that's gonna break your heart. And you can look this up. Bill Clinton, a few weeks ago, when they released that little bit of files with a couple of pictures of Bill where he was doing absolutely nothing wrong, Bill Clinton came out and said to the Trump administration, the DOJ, I want you to release everything referencing me, any pictures of me, any parts of the Epstein files, I'm included. I want you to release it. And they did nothing. That means that's because there is nothing else to release. There's no proof Bill was ever on the island. No Epstein accuser ever accused him of shit. But Donald Trump was accused of raping a 13-year-old girl in the 90s. Okay? So Bill Clinton was on the flight logs. So was Trump. That's it. This is not about Bill Clinton. Donald Trump would destroy Bill Clinton. You're talking about the most vindictive man in the world. He's just sitting on the destruction of Bill Clinton. Yeah, okay. You guys, well, I don't know who you mean. If you mean the right, yeah, you complained, bitched for years about the Epstein files until you realized Trump was in them. And now you're like, fuck those files. No, it was the Republicans who said they were going to release the files. Get this, Trump lied. It wasn't. Oh, you mean, oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I understand what you mean. Yeah, it was the Republicans who said they were going to release the file. Yeah. J.D. Vance, before the election, he said, man, we really got to release those files. Donald Trump said he was going to release the files. Fox News played a clip. They asked him, you going to release the Epstein files? Yes. Okay. And he said it at rallies and shit. But he won't do it. And let me just point this out. Marjorie Taylor Greene came out the other day and said, no, I'm sorry, she didn't come out. Apparently she had told Thomas Massie, the Republican, when Trump was threatening her not to sign the petition, Marjorie Taylor Greene told Thomas Massie that Trump said to her, you're going to hurt a lot of my friends if those files get released. A lot of my friends are going to get hurt. Now, that's like when somebody's, when people are like, hey, asking for a friend, you ever have a lump on your balls, when you're really asking for your own information? You know what I'm saying? Okay. So he means himself, but he also means his friends. And that was Trump admitting to Marjorie Taylor Greene that his friends are pedophiles, which of course they are. Donald Trump was best friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 10 fucking years. 10 years. I'm missing the point. Yeah, sure. Trump was not on the flight manifest. Trump signed off on the release of the Epstein files. Don Rickey, he signed the Epstein Files Transparency Act because he had no choice. And now it's him refusing to release the files. They're not being released because Donald Trump isn't saying release. If Donald Trump says release them, Pam Bondi releases them. That's it. And Trump was on the flight logs 8 fucking times. Don Rickey, don't even take my word for it. Go look it up right now. Was Donald Trump on the flight logs? And get back to me. Tell me what it says. Why are MAGA so deluded? They've been brainwashed, man. It's sad. How do you know what Trump said, playa, dude, you're a straight clown? I just told you, didn't I? You fucking retard. Didn't I just tell you, stupid ass? I believe so. You got Trump syndrome. Yeah, I think you're missing a word, stupid. Oh my God. Yeah. It's super refreshing. Getting your taxes raised by the people you voted for and constantly getting fucked in the ass by them. I bet. Listen, ignorance is bliss though, Marlene. I believe you walk around with your head in the clouds thinking everything's great because you're stupid. I guarantee it. If you were smart, you'd know you're in trouble. No, I'll tell you exactly what happened. Brad Edwards, whatever his name was, he subpoenaed a bunch of people in 2009. He called a lot of those people. They didn't answer. Trump answered. That's it. That is the extent of it. Trump answered the phone, and Bradley Edwards said he was helpful. He didn't say how he was helpful. He didn't say he gave information on Epstein. Nothing of the sort. And that was a civil suit. That was a lawsuit. So all the people that like to say Trump was an informant against Epstein, Trump turned Epstein in. No, he did not. No, he did not. I think they're just too dumb to know. Trump beat the fuck out of Joe Biden. Well, Joe Biden beat Trump by 7 million votes, and Trump only beat Kamala by 2 million votes. So what do you think about that? I don't watch CNN. And even if I did, let me tell you something about CNN. It's very simple. You can watch whatever you want. You can watch Fox, CNN, MSNBC. You just have to fact check shit. And I know you Republicans are allergic to facts. But if I do watch CNN and they say something that I don't already know to be true, oh, I'm checking it out right away. Before I'll repeat it, I'm checking it out right away. But you guys, that's the funny thing. None of you know how to use a search engine, AI, nothing. It's just like Trump will say the most outrageous thing and you'll be like, shit, yeah. Yeah, he said it, so it's true. And you'll come in here and repeat it and everything else. He has an airplane, he'd fly himself. Does that make you more suspicious? He did have his own airplane, but he was on the flight logs 8 times. He flew in Epstein's jet 8 times. Christ almighty, you guys are amazing. Donald Trump himself told a story about them flying to Atlantic City once on Epstein's jet. Do you know that Trump was flying around during his campaign in 2024? He was flying in Epstein's jet. That was Epstein's jet he was using to campaign. Look it up. And he was with Epstein on his plane between 90-something and 2002, maybe 92 and 2002. 8 fucking times. It's a fact you can look up right now. We have the flight logs. Donald Trump is on them. Wait, what? Your own media channel? I have a media channel? CNN. I don't watch CNN, and it's not mine. If it was, I'd be a fucking millionaire, stupid ass. CNN had to publicly apologize to Trump, LOL, because it was proven soon as he found out what was happening in his resorts with Epstein, he banned him and cut contacts. Yeah, it's completely not true. That CNN didn't publicly apologize for anything of the sort. And he didn't ban even the emails. There's 30,000 emails released of Epstein talking to Michael Wolff and Ghislaine Maxwell. Even Epstein didn't say he got kicked out. He said Trump just went to him and asked him to turn in his membership, to resign his membership. That's it. I know you like to picture your hero, your god, Donald Trump, walking in and grabbing Epstein by the neck and saying, listen, you pervert motherfucker, get out of my club. That's not what happened. And Donald Trump also, don't leave out that Donald Trump in 2002 said, in just about these exact words, Jeffrey Epstein is a great guy. He's fun to hang out with. It's even said he loves beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. Okay, he wasn't talking about 18-year-olds, guarantee it. So he knew about Epstein being a pedo. Also, Rooster Booster, when Trump himself was asked about this months ago, he didn't say anything of the sort. He said that Epstein was stealing his employees. He said he didn't know about any of this pervert shit, which he's lying, of course. But if you believe Trump, you got to believe him when he says that, right? Or you just pick and choose when you believe him. Also, what you guys don't know is right around the same time, there was a huge lawsuit. Epstein was going to sue Trump, okay, because Epstein was buying a house for $40 million. He invited Trump over because Trump was a builder. He wanted advice on where to put a pool. Donald Trump then went and bought the house out from underneath him for $45 million and sold it to a Russian oligarch a year later for $95 million. So Epstein was suing Trump. So there was all kinds of shit going on. It was not because he's a pervert. Trump is a pervert, for fuck's sake. Like he's against that. You guys are crazy. Fucking guy cheated on. Here, watch this. Yeah, look him talking about wanting to fuck his own daughter, basically, and everything else. Jesus.
Charges that Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring in the early 2000s that included underage girls as young as 14 years old.
Donald Trump in 2002 said of Epstein, he's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
He routinely spoke fawningly of Jeffrey. He admired Epstein's lifestyle.
Your daughter, she's beautiful. Can I say this? A piece of it.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What does Tiffany have of Marlon?
She's got Marlon's legs. We don't know whether or not
she's got this blood. Yeah.
You were playing tennis and you came off the court. Quote, look at that piece of I would love some of that. It so happened that Trump was referring to Cohen's then 15-year-old daughter, Samantha.
I had the impression that he was interested in younger women and that, you know, women would age out for him.
Miss Teen Universe? Yeah, that's like giving Jeffrey Dahmer a cooking show.
I'll go backstage before a show, and everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. Yeah. I standing there with notes like...
Donald Trump is heard making questionable comments about a young girl.
You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years.
A lawsuit against the presumptive GOP nominee alleges he raped a girl when she was 13 years old.
Prince Andrew answering questions for the first time about his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
I don't know Prince Andrew, but it's a tough story.
Trump has been photographed with Prince Andrew as far back as the year 2000.
Ghislaine Maxwell is accused of helping Epstein sexually abuse underage girls.
I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well.
You know about sexual predators and things like that. I mean,
you are one.
All right, I was going to say that, but it's true.
There you go. And you ain't even got to worry about the clips. You just look at Trump. You heard him with your own ears. You saw him with your own eyes. Just what he said. Wasn't manipulated in any way. It's what he said about his own daughter. Why are you speculating on the lifestyles of the rich and famous about how your 4-year-old daughter's titties might turn out? I mean, what the fuck? Also, what they don't show there is when Ivanka and Donald were on The View. And one of those bitches, Behar or something, asked Ivanka, what are 2 things you have in common with your father? And she said, real estate and golf. And they said, Donald, what are 2 things you have in common with your daughter? And his answer in these exact words was, well, I was going to say sex, but I can't really relate that. Now, why would you say sex? Why in the fuck would you say sex about your daughter? And he's such a dickhead. He said, I was going to say sex. You just said it. Guys, please hit the like and subscribe. Please take a second to do that. Hit the like button now. Subscribe to the channel. You won't regret it. I promise. Yes, they are. They are. Look at this. Do you see how easy it is for the liberals to be brainwashed? They believe everything to live mainstream media tells them. Wake up. Cindy, I don't watch mainstream media, period. I know you like to say I do because it's projection, because all you watch is Fox News and shit. I don't watch mainstream media, ever. I mean, never, ever. There's 3 independent journalists I listen to every day. And I fact check them, what they say. That's it. I don't listen to it. We don't get brainwashed, Cindy. Let me tell you what brainwashing is. Bitching for 4 years that you want to see the Epstein files. Bitching and moaning and throwing a fucking fit, coming up with conspiracy theories about, cabals of Democrats or Democrat cabal of what? A Democrat cabal of the elites and shit that is fucking, they're running a fucking pedophile ring under a pizza parlor and all this crazy shit. You going fucking nuts. You wanted the Epstein files. Then Trump tells you there are no files, and you're like, oh, that's all good. Then yeah, fuck that. Who cares about the Epstein? You guys will literally say, I've had some of you say, fuck the Epstein files. We don't need to see them. But when you thought it was Democrats, you needed to see them. Pizzagate was a big deal. You were searching for that cabal of, Democrat elites. But you found it on the right, and now you're like, oh, shit, that doesn't fit our narrative, so fuck those files. You know what I'm saying? That's brainwash. Brainwashing, or brainwashed is going to rallies, following a man around the country, going to his fucking rallies to hear him give the same stupid speech about Hannibal Lecter and Al Capone and electric boats and sharks. Okay? And just talk shit like a fucking madman and ramble like a lunatic. While you're all wearing the same hat, similar shirts, waving stupid flags with his name on them. That's brainwashing. You ever look at a MAGA rally? Donald Trump got nicked in the ear by a piece of glass when Corey Comprator behind him was shot. And you all wore the identical Band-Aid. That is brainwashed. You're all a bunch of illiterate fucktards. You are. I'm sorry, but it's true. It's amazing how he is not on the list. Oh, yeah, Johnny, where'd you see the list? Because nobody else has seen it. Where'd you see that? Yeah, it's called American Pride, and we support our fabulous, see what I mean? President who loves our country and trying to fix all the things Democrats screwed up. Again, you're wrong. Everything right now is worse than it was under Biden. The Democrats always fix shit for the Republicans, and the Republicans fuck it up. And it's not American pride. Americans take pride in their country, not a president. There's never been in time in history where there's been a politician that is worshipped by, the stupidest people in the entire country. And that's what you are, by the way. I told you again about, I told you earlier, about the red states, stupidest states in the country, the least educated, poorest states, So anyway, I forgot what I was even going on about. Yes, that's right. Glass? Yeah, Johnny Morales. You think Trump really got shot? Trump did not get shot. You ever see somebody who got shot in the ear? You know what they have in their ear? A hole. Okay? Donald Trump, his ear, you could see him on Time magazine. You could see him everywhere. His ear looks like my ear, like nothing ever happened to it, because nothing did. He got no more than a nick, like I get when I shave sometimes. That's it. He did not get shot. Fucking dopes. As Trump would have done all that crap, do you think he would want it to be in the spotlight? Cindy, again, this is why I keep trying to explain to you guys, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you okay? You sound dumb. You want to debate me? I bet you don't. Then again, I don't even have my other fucking phone, so I probably can't. But yeah, whatever. I'll debate you in the chat. Poorest states, ha 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 ha. I live in Florida. There's a reason everyone is moving here. Fuck out of here. Florida, he brings up Florida. Watch. What are the poorest states in America?
The poorest states in America, often with high poverty rates, include Mississippi, Louisiana, West Virginia, New Mexico, Kentucky, Arkansas, and Alabama. Mississippi is often cited as the poorest, along with Louisiana and New Mexico.
There you go. He picks one red state, and then that's supposed to disprove everything. So those are the poorest states in the country. What are the least educated states in the country?
The states often cited as having the lowest levels of education are West Virginia, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, and New Mexico. Other states frequently mentioned include Oklahoma, Nevada, Alabama, Kentucky, and Texas, with many southern states appearing on these lists.
You see, poorest, least educated states in the country. I don't just say shit. They are, absolutely, yeah. Where do I live? Right now, I'm in Alaska, but I don't actually live in Alaska. I'm just hanging out here doing some hunting and shit. But I live in Pennsylvania. Well, blue cities in general have higher levels of education. I mean, that's just the way it is. You find the most educated, wealthiest people in those blue cities, and you wouldn't even survive without those blue cities, because they fucking pay for the rest of these fucking bullshit welfare red states. California pays in $85 billion to the federal government, $85 billion more than they take out. Texas takes out $75 billion more than it puts in. So all these blue states and these blue cities, you know how many of your bullshit red states just New York City and Los Angeles pay for? Do you have any fucking idea? Not to mention that welfare in general, per capita, there's a disproportionate amount of welfare funding to red states. And a lot of it is not just in the blue cities, it's in the rural areas where people are broke. Owsley County, Kentucky is 99.2% white and 95% Republican. They receive more SNAP funding than any county in America. So, yeah. You're right, Johnny. Yeah. First of all, it's not necessarily a blue state. It's gone both ways. But see, this is what I mean about you guys that makes you retarded. So I just gave you lists of all these states. And because one of them might kind of be a blue state, then all the rest of it is bullshit. Do you realize why this is why you're a laughing stock to people? So West Virginia, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Nevada, Alabama, Kentucky, and Texas. But because it says New Mexico, it's like, well, there you go. You're fucking wrong. Oh my God. Trump falls asleep during meetings. Always. Are you leaving the blood-sucking country? Why would I leave the country? Did you leave when Biden was in office? 1% of the Epstein files have been released, and all or mostly all of it is redacted when it was voted unanimously for the files to be unredacted. DOJ is protecting Trump. Yep. You are so dumb, you're missing all important statistics. Sure I am. Yeah, you mean the ones that fit your narrative? I know, buddy. I was just on a fishing line from Oklahoma, and the guy's a flat earther and space program modern medicine denier. There you go, man. Yeah. Oh, Cindy, and you guys have none of it. Listen to me. If you're a working class person and you vote Republican, you have zero common sense and zero natural intelligence, period. And if you can't see that Trump is the world's biggest con man, you're a fucking moron. I'm sorry, but it's true. I could never be fooled by a guy like Trump. Never. My whole entire family. And my family's from Queens and Brooklyn. They're too street smart. They can't be fooled. Now, unfortunately, there's a lot of dummies in the 5 boroughs that have been fooled by this guy, which is astonishing because if you grew up in New York in the 80s and 90s, you knew Donald Trump was the biggest scumbag on earth back then. I deal with smart people, and none of them can be fooled by Trump. We all see Trump for who he is. We know what he is. You guys have the real derangement syndrome because you see him through these rose-colored glasses where you say shit like you said in this chat. He loves his country. He's a patriot. He loves his country. When was the last time you heard Donald Trump say something positive about America? Every rally, every speech, he tells you it's like a third world country. It's gone to hell. It's not even America anymore. The illegals, that he hates immigration. He hates the Constitution. You fucking name it. The least patriotic man in the world. He cares about nobody but himself. Plus, he's the most corrupt president we've ever had. He's made $3.8 billion since January 20th, 2025. All of his kids, their net worths have doubled since he took office for the second term. And Barron Trump made $150 million off of insider trading, thanks to his father. Now, if that was Biden, you'd want him killed. But because it's Trump, you're like, so what? Listen, leftists are probably the only ones that actually support America. You guys don't support America. You're traitors. You tried to you help overturn a free and fair election. I mean, what are you talking about? You guys see yourselves as these patriots. Meanwhile, you're all traitors. Bottom line. And let me tell you something about radical leftists and all this. I'd like to know who exactly you're talking about. But I know that we are not a cult. We don't worship any politician. I'll talk shit about any Democrat. I'll tell you things I don't like about them. I don't give a fuck. But you guys can't do it. If I ask you right now, what has Trump done that you absolutely hate? What legislation, what policy that you absolutely hate? What would you tell me? I don't know, brother. I really don't. No, that's not true, Apocalypse, because the highest levels of education in those states are in the blue cities. That's where the colleges and universities are, you fucking dummy. Okay? The rural areas where everybody's poor and doesn't have shit, it's a whole bunch of white fucking trash in the middle of nowhere. That's where it brings down the numbers. Because isn't it funny? Watch this. Watch this. States with the biggest blue cities, right? Watch this. You want to see something? What states are the most educated?
Massachusetts is consistently the most educated state, often followed by Maryland, Vermont, Colorado, and Connecticut. These states have high percentages of residents with advanced degrees. And the District of Columbia often surpasses even the top states.
Wow. Look at that. It's amazing, isn't it? New Jersey and Virginia also appear in the top 10. Isn't that amazing? These big, huge blue cities in these states, and they're the most educated states in the. So, in other words, and let me break that down for you too. The least educated, dumbest states in the country voted for Trump in 2024. The most educated, wealthiest states in the country voted for Kamala. So that should tell you something. That should tell you that you're not as smart as you think you are. Okay, watch this. What are the wealthiest states in the country?
The wealthiest states, based on income, often include Massachusetts, New Jersey, Maryland, New Hampshire, California, Hawaii, and Washington. Colorado, Utah, and Connecticut are also frequently mentioned. And these states have strong sectors like technology, finance, and education.
See what I mean? Guys, I'm telling you, I don't just say shit. I know what I'm talking about. How do you figure? No, not necessarily. What do you mean? Who says? Who provides most of your infrastructure? The right. How do you figure? Speaking of infrastructure, Trump couldn't even get an infrastructure bill done. He promised it. 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Joe Biden did the bipartisan infrastructure bill. Plus, most of the roads and bridges and shit are thanks to liberals. Okay, liberals are everything you enjoy in daily life is pretty much a liberal policy. You know what I mean? For people, and this includes vets, children, old people, disabled people, not just people in the hood who don't want to work. Okay, it also includes many, many millions of white people, white trash people in the rural red states, like we just talked about. A SNAP, Section 8 housing, cash assistance. These things are very important. Look how many veterans are on these programs. Okay, unemployment, Social Security, all of this shit. The 40-hour work week, union support. That's all liberals. Tell me what good things Republicans have done for working people. Go ahead. Trump cares about the USA. Yeah, if it can make him money. Yeah, generally that's how it goes, R. Davis. Now, don't get me wrong. I had a girlfriend once who had a master's degree in behavioral health, and she was a fucking moron when it came to common sense. She could barely tie her own shoes. But still, she had a higher level of education, and she knew things that people with just natural intelligence and common sense don't know. Okay? But for the most part, those people, you got to understand, to get into colleges and universities, you have to do well on SATs and stuff like that. You have to be accepted into a college based on your grades and all that stuff. So chances are you're a smart person naturally before you ever even get to a college or university. All right. Yes, they do. She had to be a moron to go out with you. Listen, Joe Fisher, I've gotten more pussy on my worst day than you'll get if you live 10 lifetimes. Believe me. I got rid of her. She didn't get rid of me. She wanted to have kids. I said, fuck you. I already have one kid, and that's all I'm having. And that relationship ended. So there you go. Who do you think should be president? Jessica Biel, just so I can look at her. Can the men in the chat at least agree on that? I don't know. But I know that who's going to be president, and his name starts with a G, that's for sure. You ruined that kid. What kid? Who, my daughter? Oh, please. My daughter's more successful at 25 years old than you'll ever be. That's another thing. You literally just said the woman should be president so you can look at her. You're a fucking idiot. Now, it was kind of a joke, Johnny, because I don't really have anybody in mind right now. And Jessica Biel's super fucking hot. And if you were a straight man, you would understand why I said that. You stupid, repressed homosexual. Jesus Christ. I don't know that that's true, but they might. But that doesn't make them smart. You got to understand. I mean, listen, no offense, but you're talking about them like as if they're engineers and fucking computer programmers and fucking people that work in an office. You know what I mean? Like people who run hedge funds and shit. You're talking about blue collar people that learn to trade. That's all you're talking about. So they don't necessarily have to be intelligent. They most likely aren't that intelligent. If you're a working man, if you're one of those things you just mentioned and you fucking vote Republican, you're an idiot. You guys don't know anything about politics. I hate to tell you that, but you don't. You don't. Quit complaining and give solutions. If you're so smart, tell us how to fix the problems. I'm a guy on a YouTube. I don't claim to be the guy with all the answers. So am I running for office? I never said I have all the answers. And even if I did in my head think certain things would work, I'm not, like Donald Trump. I'm not so full of myself that I think I know better how to run the fucking country. I know that anybody would be better than Donald Trump. Anybody, even a cockroach, everybody. Look at this. What they call education on days, whatever that means, that call it stupidity. I want to teach kids about transgenderism, stupidity crap. You do? That's weird. Why do you want to teach them that? You are such a fucking moron, Cindy. I swear to God, God forbid you ever try to write a letter. Oh my God. Holy shit. You are as illiterate as they come. And there's nobody's being taught transgenderism, stupid. Blue collar people are the most important people in this country. You're insane. Fuck. If it's your YOU apostrophe RE, thank you. Fuck having a liberal arts degree. The people that keep this country running and people fed are way more important. Yeah. What about the people that employ those people and stuff like that? You know what's funny about you guys? The Republicans, even not just politicians, even like Charlie Kirk would tell you how dumb it is to go to college and universities and stuff like that. Except they all went to colleges and universities, and they all send their kids to colleges and universities. So why is it that they tell you guys that? Well, I'll tell you. It's because they need a stupid electorate, such as yourselves. They need people who don't know better, because that's the only way. That's the only way anybody would vote for them. If you actually knew about politics, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You never vote Republican. Guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I'm going to show you a video until I come back. Guys, hit the like and subscribe, please.
It's pretty simple to explain. Basically, when Nixon was discovered having committed Watergate, people thought the Republican Party was washed up. But a clever staffer on in Nixon's White House came up with an idea for how to get more new Republican voters to replace all the people that were turned off by the corruption that had just been exposed, and perhaps save the party. His name was Lee Atwater. And he said, I know where there's all kinds of disgruntled white people. All you got to do is appeal to them over their anger about the end of Jim Crow and about school desegregation and about the Civil Rights Act. And these are the words that you'll say to kind of trigger them. Then we call these the racist dog whistles. And you will send a message to them that they are welcome in the Republican Party. And starting in the mid-70s to the mid-80s, there was a massive change in voter registration from Democrat to Republican on the part of all of these racists and lowlifes and ignorant people. At the same time, Trump started.
All right, let me get back to this. You have to be brain dead to believe that nobody with intelligence disagrees with you. No, they could be intelligent and just be wrong. It's possible. You know what I'm saying? The Democrat policies. What about them? They're the policies that you all enjoy as working people. But those are Democrat policies. None of them are conservative policies. None of them. No, they don't. You're a fucking asshole, Cindy. I have a 13-year-old in school. I have a fucking teacher in my family. None of this is happening. I asked my stepson, I said, are they telling you about trans stuff or gay stuff in school, anything like that? He looked at me like I had 6 heads. He said, no. And the teacher, it's in my family, said the same thing. This is Fox News feeding you this horse shit. Several northern states, including Illinois, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and Vermont, mandate or have standards for teaching LGBTQ plus history. I don't know that that's true, but let's just say it is. Then that's just teaching about. It's teaching the kids that these people exist, and it's informing them about these people. That's it. That's not equal to trying to turn a kid trans. And by the way, for the fucking guy that kept asking, what about the cities? I guess he was asking for what the least educated cities in the country are. Visalia, California, and Texas border towns. The McAllen, Edinburgh, Mission, and Brownsville, Harlingen areas consistently appear at the bottom. Other cities, Beaumont, Texas, Hickory, North Carolina, Corpus Christi, Texas, and Ocala, Florida are also noted. Fucking asshole. What did he think? He had me? What the fuck? Let the video play? All right, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I got to get going because I have to eat and stuff. I'm far, far away from my home right now. I'm traveling. I have a relative who's sick, so I'm trying to sneak these shows in as much as I can, and then live my life. But guys, do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe. I'll put this video on for you guys so you can watch it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for everything, especially the people who donated. Guys, hit the like and subscribe. Peace.
It's pretty simple to explain. Basically, when Nixon was discovered having committed Watergate, people thought the Republican Party was washed up. But a clever staffer on in Nixon's White House came up with an idea for how to get more new Republican voters to replace all the people that were turned off by the corruption that had just been exposed, and perhaps save the party. His name was Lee Atwater. And he said, I know where there's all kinds of disgruntled white people. All you got to do is appeal to them over their anger about the end of Jim Crow and about school desegregation and about the Civil Rights Act. And these are the words that you'll say to kind of trigger them. Then we call these the racist dog whistles. And you will send a message to them that they are welcome in the Republican Party. And starting in the mid-70s to the mid-80s, there was a massive change in voter registration from Democrat to Republican on the part of all these racists and lowlifes and ignorant people. At the same time, Trump started to have political ambitions. Now, it turns out Trump has an IQ of about 73. He barely functions as an adult. If it were not for the fact that his father gave him a lot of money, he wouldn't be able to function as an adult. Trump has less money now than he would have had if he'd just taken the money he got from his father and put it in an index fund in the stock market and just let it sit. But he's gradually played around with it all these years and lost it in all his lawsuits and so forth, and his 6 bankruptcies, and he has dissipated a fortune over his lifetime. Now, he's had the Russians for the last 20 years to bail him out, but ordinary people cannot be as dumb as Trump and still function. But Trump came out onto the public stage and started talking boldly like he wanted to do things politically and help the people of America. And he speaks like a third grader because that's what somebody with an IQ of 73 talks like, even if they're an adult. Linguists have analyzed his speech and they've made it plain. He speaks English at a third grade level. This energized dumb people because for the first time they could understand a presidential candidate. And they said things like, oh, he speaks his mind. He's the first guy that doesn't use a bunch of fancy words and confuse me. Now I finally understand what he's saying. And of course, what he was saying was a lot of things they wanted to hear. They were the racist dog whistles. And so you had a beautiful alliance from their perspective of racists and stupid people. The lower 12% of the IQ distribution corresponds perfectly to Trump's supporters. Now, these people are so intelligent that there's actually a federal statute that prohibits their induction into military service. They didn't want to have a repeat. Congress didn't want to have a repeat of the McNamara's Morons incident from Vietnam, which is a notorious thing you can look up on your own. McNamara's Morons, it's called. Basically, we had a Secretary of Defense who had the idea that, hey, why don't we recruit low intelligence people, send them to war and see what happens. And what happened was they died in droves, and of course things got worse. And so they didn't want that happening again, so they actually passed a law. You're not allowed to recruit and induct into military service the lowest 12% on the IQ range. But they're still allowed to vote And Trump energized them. He made dumb people think that they finally understood politics. He made people stood around proud of themselves thinking that they had a grasp of the issues, because they could tell on some level that Trump wasn't much smarter than they were, but there he was, a big shot. So he seemed like a champion for them. Of course, all these people forget that they aren't rich. They didn't have a dad hand them the equivalent of $412 million. And they can't do the things that Trump does, and they can't get away with the things Trump has gotten away with. And even Trump himself is not going to get away with them indefinitely. But the stage has been set, and this is where we're at. Basically, we have a fanatical core of low intelligence voters that are solidly behind Trump. They will back him no matter what he does or says, because they don't care what he does or says. They just know he's their guy. They understand him. They like him. He talks to them in a way that they can comprehend, and they are fanatical in their support of him. He has given them what they see as dignity and strength. And then at the other end of the spectrum are smart people from all walks of life. I actually used to be a Republican myself. I'm ashamed to admit it now, but I know I'm not alone. I mean, millions of people who make sure that they turn out to vote against Trump used to be actual Republicans, because the Republican Party is now nothing but a loony bin of the very low intelligence. And there's just no way that you can be associated with them at all. So now it's going to be, some range of conservative to liberal Democrats again, except that it'll mean something different than it used to mean. I mean, those Democrats won't be conservative because they're racist garbage people from the South. They'll be conservative because they have some other philosophy about the role of the market or of private enterprise or something like that in the economy. At any rate, this is the problem we have. It's basically now just the very low intelligent versus the high intelligence. And the thing is going to be decided by undecided people who don't pay any attention. People in the middle that don't pay attention to politics, no matter whether the politicians are smart or dumb. They just show up on election day and try to do their best. Those are the people you have to reach. You have to get them interested.
Facts don't care about your feelings.